Hey, Ty Savino here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can stay in tune with everything I'm doing with OA and TA. This video is going to be strictly about how to use Keepa and just understanding the basic fundamentals of it. This will be a two-part series. This is going to be the first part. And the second part, I'm going to analyze different Keepa graphs and what the data actually means and what to look for. So if you guys want to read Keepa, this is definitely the video for you. I made it quick and hopefully not too boring. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, I'm in my Keepa right now and I have a graph up and we're just going to go over the basics in this video of all the different data you can use in a Keepa graph. So let's get right into this. So on the left side of the graph is always going to be your price, and then on the bottom will be the life cycle in months for the product, as you can see. Now if you click sales rank over here real quick, it'll pop up on the right. Your sales rank will always be on the right. Highest BSR is to the top. That's how I have it set up, and the better selling items towards one is towards the bottom. So you'd always want the squiggly line to go towards the bottom. Now let's take the sales rank off. Now let's talk about the new blue line here. So the new line is going to indicate anything that's ever been in this listing sold new through the history of it, and it's going to show you the different prices. So that's mainly what this is for. This is going to be a tool to analyze what you can sell it at and the history it's been sold at. So the next thing we're going to want to look at is sales rank. So we pop that on. We want to make sure there's sales. The green line pops up, and then we want to click Amazon. So Amazon is going to show you this orange line right here, and that's going to be its sales price, and all of the orange blocks under it is its inventory. So usually when it runs out, it won't show anything, or when it comes back in, it'll have like a little orange line fade out, and then another orange line will start with more blocks. That's why we click Amazon, to see if they've ever sold on it, what their inventory levels are at, or if they completely cover the graph and we can't even sell it all. So we always want to click Amazon. We're not selling used items, so we don't need to click use. I know there's a lot of stuff here, so let's just get rid of the confusion. You're not selling used, you don't need to look at it. We're not selling collectibles. The list price really doesn't matter because that doesn't really indicate what you're going to sell at. The buy box is what you're going to sell at. You can put third-party merchant on here for the buy box. I just don't bother to. But the only thing you're going to really need to know is just this, buy box. So you'd click Amazon, new, sales rank, and the buy box. And the buy box is going to be this pinkish, purplish little circles, as you can see. So you can see in the purplish pink box right there on the right, it says third-party FBA, so that's the current price that controls the buy box. That's all these little purple lines mean. And when we obviously go into Amazon, it'll be Amazon, Amazon, and you see the prices change, and then I'll show you the buy box. Obviously it was at, I'm sorry, 11.43, and then it goes to 11.27 because the price changed. And then when Amazon comes out of stock, it's obviously going to go back to merchant and FBA competing for the sales, the buy box price. And that's all that means. It's a very simple way of looking at a graph. So these are the only things you truthfully need to click. Do not get confused by the other stuff. And if you don't already, click, it's going to say like this. It's going to say more historical data. So you want to click this. It's going to pop up a second graph, and over on our right, we're going to want to click new offer count. So this is going to pop up all the new offers over the last 3 months, showing how many people have sold on it. So we're going to want to know that, so we know how many people we're competing with right off the bat, and then obviously within that 16 offer count, how many people are prime. And that's how you would, that's pretty much what that part of the graph is really used for. Now over here, how I was playing with the date is the range. So they're going to be able to, you're going to be able to break all listings down from a day, a week, a month, 3 months, a year, and then the whole life cycle of the product. Now usually when I come into the graph too, I usually just click this right away. I like seeing the full picture of the history of the product. If the product hasn't sold long, it'll only have like a day, a week, a month, 3 months, something like that, or it'll say like it's only been around for 29 days. That's what this is for, and that's pretty much an indication. Unless it's selling crazy and it's a trending product, you probably shouldn't jump on a listing that has hardly any sales data. So that's what the range helps for down here. Shows you the whole history of it. And then the second major part down here we're going to want to look at, skip all this other stuff, is statistics. It's going to show you Amazon new and used sales price from the lowest to the highest, and also the current. And as you can see on this one, it actually says used in Amazon is out of stock. You see that? So that's what that means. When we were looking at the orange line and blocks, they fade away. That means Amazon's out of stock. Also, statistics backs up my point that they're out of stock, so you can feel more confident. On the right side, you're going to see sales rank with the little green block. Now in there, they're going to show you how much the estimated sales are going to be for the current month, and they're going to show you all the different sales ranks throughout the history of the product. The main thing we're going to want to look at is not the current or the highest. You're going to really want to pay attention to the 90-day BSR, and you want to take that 15,602, and that 15,602 is going to be the BSR, whether it sells fast or slow, and that's going to correspond to what category it's in. So 15,600 might sell well in toys, but in another category it might not. So that's extremely important. And if you want to take the sales rank that's in Keepa and you want to feel a little bit more confident that it says 100 when we're looking at it, you can go to Camel, or you can use the Jungle Scout free estimator or the Jungle Scout Chrome extension. I think that's only offered on Google Chrome. And you could check all of those to see how consistent the sales will be for that month. So if one says 100 and the other three say 90 some, it's most likely going to sell 90 some. So that's the main information on a Keepa graph that you're going to want to look at. This is way less confusing now. You don't need to click all the other stuff. Just stay focused on the things that I showed you, and this is how you would set up all your graphs. So once you come in here, click all of these things that I showed you and start analyzing.